today. The topic is the election of President Obama, gangs, and ex-offenders. And we have with us Reverend Walker, Mr. Britton, and Mr. Greenlee to talk about this. And of course, Mr. Britton, before we had our second commercial break, we promised that we'd give you an opportunity to make some statements in reference to how people that you know who might be or have been involved in gangs that you've had conversations with, what are their attitudes and their impressions in reference to the election of Mr. Obama?
Well, for me personally, it was a great experience to be able to be alive, to witness history. This is something that people have told me that would never happen, that I'll never live to see it. Me being 21, I was able to witness it and see it. And so for me, it motivated me. It eliminated every excuse I ever had to not being for what my destiny really is. And as far as for gang members or any young person I may have came in contact with, and they're excited. They're excited about being able to witness the election of our president. So many of them still take it to the wrong way in certain instances, such as our gang members feel like, you know, now that we got a black president, now I can do what I want to do, instead of letting it motivate them to go on and do something positive, to go on and fulfill their dreams of becoming lawyers, doctors, business owners. And so I think that as time continues to go on, they will understand what kind of mind our president really has. He has told us numerous of times in all the interviews he's done, you know, it ain't about me, it's about the American people. It's about building up families. It's about going out here and chasing your dream and getting it and making whatever you want to do in life, make it happen. And so I think as time continues to go on, our young people will continue to understand what it really means and what this really can help them in their own personal life.
Very good. And of course, Mr. Greenlee, what are your impressions in reference to this, from your experience?
Let me speak on the ex-offenders. Okay, if I can speak on the ex-offenders, I am an ex-offender. Okay, so my whole thought is, with this man being the first black African-American, but we know he's the president of the United States, okay, what are we going to do to bring the resources, and let me tell you something, with the finances, to stop a lot of this stuff that these folks are feeding on us off of in these penitentiaries? Okay, we need to start the fighting. There are some lawyers and there are some people out there who can take an advantage of what Obama's trying to do, you know, to really help curve this thing of 60% of people locked up all over the United States are black. 60%. You know, and then they're saying 50% of us don't even graduate high school. So, you know, so some of those things that we can begin to work on to help Obama, because Obama has opened it up. So don't get this wrong. You know, Obama has opened this thing up now. This politics and stuff will never be the same. It's gonna be a different ball game from here on. Now, can he do all this work? No. Okay. Should he do it? No. Okay. But shouldn't we use him as a tool and a resource for us to get other things done? Shouldn't we be able to use it? Yes, we should. And for us ex-offenders, we need to find ways of stopping people from making us pay monies and we can't even get a job. See, so how can we get the lawyers out there to begin to fight? If you haven't never killed nobody, never raped nobody, and you call a small dope charge at 18 years old, and then you're 30 and it's still on your record and stop you from making a living? So these are the things that I'm looking at, you know, as far as Obama. I'm gonna see can other people step up. They got the powers and the resources with Obama. Okay, and let's do some real things. You know, if we can bring it down to 30%, we'd be better off than 60. You know? So,
and you appear to agree with that, with that assessment in terms of what we go on.
Yeah, pretty much so, Dr. Haney. I think that, first of all, I think as black Americans, we need to understand that President Obama, you know, he's not the savior. You know, he is the president of the United States of America, not the president of black America. But there are plenty of issues, like Brother Lonnie was talking about, in America, within the black race, and then within the black community, that really needs to be addressed. And I think what's what's happening is with the Obama administration is, you know, with that, I had alluded to the Second Chance Act, which hit the table in 2005. I think All Inspector and some other guys up there, they initiate this process. It finally came into being back last year in 2008 when then President Bush signed it into law. And then in this year, since President Obama has been in office since January, they have he's already requested $75 million to go toward that effort. 25 million of that to be used within the fiscal year 2009 to go toward, you know, programs, to nonprofit programs, and I think some type of Indian type programs also that would help and offer assistance to people coming out of the prison system back into society, to help them reintegrate back into society. Because, you know, right now, you know, we got a massive engine that ain't clicking on all cylinders, you know, and most time when the engine is not clicking on all cylinders, I think the ones that miss it, the funding or the resources the most is the Black American community, the Latino communities, the Hispanic communities, and the like. But the money, please be clear about this, is appropriated for all people that have been incarcerated in the system, you know, and I don't want to make it seem like this is a black-only thing, because it's not, because the penal system consists of all races, all cultures, all nationalities of people that need the same resources, that need the same assistance in coming out and making that entry back into society. You know, just today, Dr. Haney, I was talking to a friend of mine that, you know, we hustled in the streets together and all of that, and he, you know, got incarcerated some years ago for a murder charge, and he's made parole. He did 23 calendar years, has made parole, and now he's in the system, been looking for a job for 5 months. He needs to get on work release, spend 90 days on work release before he can be released back in society. But where's the resources?
That once he gets back, the situation is almost as bad as it was before.
Right.
Okay. And of course, we're getting ready for our our final commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll give all of you an opportunity to continue our discussion. But I think that this is essentially what we wanted to hear about what the impact that Mr. Obama's election is having. And as we know that certainly this is not the cure-all, but I think that what Britton has said, as well as Lonnie, that there are no more excuses. As a matter of fact, I think that that's kind of general when you talk to people.
Absolutely.
And the only thing they say is that no more excuses. And I think that that's true. And of course, we'll be back with you following this short commercial break. The topic